let's talk matchups because you're sitting here, you're talking closing lineups, you're talking, we were talking about Joe Mazzulla. Let's converge the group into the ball that loss against Utah and Derrick White. People are just, beside themselves, and I am one of them, even when I try and explain it away to myself about the fact that Derrick White did not play, despite playing reasonably well during the night, and no Marcus Smart obviously, did not play a single minute, not a moment of that fourth quarter. And I realized that Malcolm was playing really well. I realized wanting to have the bigs out there because of the size of Utah's players, and what they were doing schematically speaking.
Celtics Beat is brought to you by FanDuel. Sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston and make every moment more on America's #1 sportsbook.
But you just Forsberg tweeted out, a little earlier today, just the larger sample size. Celtics have played 162 crunch time minutes this season. Derrick White has been on the floor for 55 and a half of those, so it's about 34%. Boston has played 60 overtime minutes this season. White has been on the floor for 16 of those, which is about 27%. It just feels like, last night being one example, I'm not saying it's why they lost. I'm not smart enough to know that, but I feel like there are many instances that a game will end. It will be a close loss, 1, 2, 3, 4 points. And Derrick White wasn't a part of it after having a pretty good night. And I'm sitting there going, all right, Joe, you know all this better than I do, no question. But where the hell was Derrick tonight? Why are we seeing any Derrick in the fourth quarter? Or why aren't we seeing Derrick on the floor late as part of a close and late situation? What is the hang up there? If there is one that has sort of, I don't want to say Derrick White's fallen out of favor. That's not the case, but he's just not getting these opportunities at these times that stupid fans like me sit and watch and say, where's Derrick?
You're not stupid because you're right. And, I said before that Joe wanted to match up the bigs for Utah, but it didn't work in the fourth quarter. And I think one of the complaints about Joe has been whether he responds to things not working in a timely manner. And if initially that was the timeouts, and I never had as big of a problem with the timeouts. At least early on, he was very much I want them to work through these issues. At a certain point, you got to start actually changing your process when it's not yielding results. But, he probably could have gone with White at some point in crunch time and recognized all right, this isn't really working for us. We need a better finisher. He also went with Sam Hauser instead of White at a certain point, where I don't know if because I think that was early in the quarter, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Yeah, so it's maybe that was it's early in the quarter, White's probably going to close, and then he probably made a split decision potentially to go with, I guess, Muscala over White. And so, Cornette matches up with Walker Kessler, but Kessler beat him. Muscala, I just didn't really think that he ended up making much of an impact at the rim for what they wanted him to do there. So it could have worked to just put White in there. And I would have rather had White in there for offensive reasons. Because if you're already not getting what you need defensively out of that lineup, then at that point, if it's not making a difference, you might as well just get in your better offensive decision makers. Also, White's shooting pretty well this year, so I'd rather have him out there just even as a shooter. Or if you're just looking for a shooter and you're choosing between Hauser, Muscala, and White, I'd definitely rather have White because he's close to being able to do a spot-up shot like those guys. Then there's just so much more for you. So, he's really been playing Hauser a lot lately, and it's generally okay if it's just Hauser versus Grant Williams or Peyton Pritchard, although I think Grant is proving that he's better than Sam Hauser, as if we really need to know that. So I don't know why they didn't just give him the minutes that Hauser's getting. But, Derrick White shouldn't be missing fourth quarters. There should be room for him. If White comes in at the 8-minute mark and then you only play him 3 minutes, you take him out at the 5-minute mark, then so be it. I just don't know. At a certain point, he must have. I feel like there were points in that fourth quarter where they could have been all right, this triple big lineup isn't working for us. We need more offensive invigoration and running off of makes or misses or both to be able to just outscore them because we're not getting the stops. And I think that's putting a White should have been the move. I agree with that.
Sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston and get in on the action with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet.